Hi, I'm glad you could join me today. You got your oil paints all put out and your big glass of iced tea beside you and ready? Okay, let's do it then. Let's start off by having graphically put all the colors on the screen that you need to do this painting with me, and they'll come across, as usual, in the same order as I have them on the palette, starting with the white and working around. Now let's go on up here. Now I've already covered the canvas with a nice thin, even coat of the liquid white. It's wet and slick and it's ready to go too. So let's do a fantastic little painting together. And I thought today we'll start off with the old 2-inch brush and the smallest little amount of alizarin crimson. Very small amount. And just tap the brush into that. Just tap it like that. Okay, let's go right up here. And maybe in the sky here there's a little bit of pink. I just want a very small amount. When you're doing this, just use the littlest touch of paint. Because if you're not careful, you'll set your sky right on fire. And we don't want it on fire. We just want a little pinkish glow in it when we're done. Just to brighten it up and make it a very happy little sky. And that's enough. Right there is enough. Okay, without cleaning the brush, I'm going to go right into phthalo blue. And the blue is so much stronger than the crimson, you don't have to clean the brush. You can go right into it. Okay, load it the same way by tapping. Let's go right back up here. Now, use a little crisscross stroke, start right at the top and work down to the pink. Just like that. Little crisscross strokes. Little X's. See there? That easy. And where these come together, you'll get sort of a lavender color. It's very pretty, very warm. There. All right, let me clean the old brush. We'll just wash it right here. I have a screen in the bottom of this bucket that I scrub the brush against. Shake it off and then just beat the devil out of it. Now with a clean, dry brush, and be sure it's dry, go right back up here and blend this. You want to make the little X's right here where the pink and the blue come together. Just a little crisscross. Okay. And that gives us a happy little sky. Tell you what, let's do. Let's put some big floating clouds up in there. And I'll use the 1-inch brush today. Pull it through the paint. Pull it through in one direction. Maybe we'll add at least a little touch of bright red to it. At least a little touch. Don't want to set these clouds on fire. Now see, by pulling it one direction, you round one corner of the brush. Okay, let's go up here. Now with this rounded corner toward the top, just make little tiny circles and create all kinds of beautiful little fluffy clouds in your sky. Keep the brush moving, keep it moving. Little circles, little tiny circles. Don't let it stay in one place. You'll end up with big cotton balls in the sky. And that'll sort of bother you when it's over. Okay. And see, layer after layer after layer. Just as many clouds as you want. This is your world, so you make the big decisions. Tell you what, maybe, yeah, let's put a happy little cloud that lives right here. We don't all want all of them on one side. We'll have them on both sides. I like to make clouds. When I was a traditional painter, clouds used to drive me crazy. Boy, I'd work on them son of a guns all day. This is the easy way to do it. Okay. Now then, we'll take a clean, dry 2-inch brush and come right back up here. Now, see up in here, you don't want to touch these tops. All you want to do is gently, gently blend the bottom. Use the top corner of the brush. If you use the bottom of the brush, you're not going to be able to tell where it's hitting. You don't want to touch these nice edges. You want to save those. Just blend right up to them and stop. And don't overblend these. Don't overblend. Okay, same thing on the other side. Just barely touching. Now then, we'll lift that up very gently. Very gently, just barely caressing the canvas. Barely, barely touch. Lift it up, and then very lightly, blend the entire sky. That'll take out all the brush marks, blend everything together, and that quick, you've got a fantastic little sky. All right, let's do a happy little mountain today. And for that, I'll take midnight black and phthalo blue. Just black and blue. That's all I'm going to use today. Midnight black, phthalo blue. Now, if you wanted to check that, put a little white over there and just add it, because it's hard to tell what color that is. A little roll of paint on the knife, right out on the edge, okay? Now you have to make some big decisions. Where does your mountain live, and what's his shape? See, got to put in the shape here. Now, mountains grow different all over the country, so if the mountains in your area are different than what I paint, just use the idea of how to paint mountains to do the ones in your area. The principles are about the same no matter what kind of mountains you're painting. There. That's just blue and black. Scrape off the excess paint. Now then, with a 2-inch brush, I'm going to begin just tapping and getting a little of that color on the brush. Now I want to put a distant mountain back here. So just using that color that I picked up, just tap, and look at there. That easy. That easy. You can create the illusion of a little mountain that's far in the distance. Now we'll pull that down. See, and automatically your mountain gets lighter toward the bottom. It mixes with the liquid white, and all those things happen. You don't have to worry about them. Shoot, maybe that was so much fun. Maybe there's another one over here. Wherever you want them. You can have another little thing that lives right there. Pick up a little of that color. See there? Isn't that super? You can just borrow a little paint from this mountain and make another one. You can do anything in your world. Look at there, okay? Make that come right over. Just like so. And then we'll blend it right down to nothing. Like so. And that gives us a nice base shape for a little mountain. Now then, let's put some snow on that mountain. So we'll go right into the titanium white. Pull it out very flat, just as flat as you can get it. Really get tough with it. And then cut across, get that little roll of paint on the knife. Let's go right up here. Now, put the point of the knife right at the point of your mountain and just let it literally float right down the mountain. A little bit more right in here. And begin creating the shape of your mountain, okay? No pressure. Very, very light. Maybe this one comes down like that. Delicate touch, delicate touch. And this is where you really, really need to have a firm paint. If you have a soupy paint, you're going to become a mud mixer. I'm going to take a little of that black and blue color, mix it with some titanium white, and I'll make a shadow color, about like that. Let me clean my knife here. Tell you what, I'll get the small knife for that. It sneaks into those little places better. Okay, let's go right up in here. Now then, I want to just put the indication of some shadows here and there. Touch it, pull it down. Just pull it down. All kinds of happy little shadows. Look at there, look at there. We'll put one right in there. Wherever you think there should be a shadow, that's where it ought to be. Over in here, pull these down a little bit. You can go back and pick up a little of that dark, and where the shadows are really deep, look at there, look at there. See, you can just spend all day just playing with mountains. They're so much fun. When I was learning and practicing all the time, I used to take a canvas and paint mountains from top to bottom, from floor to ceiling on it. Then just scrape them off and start over again. You can never waste a canvas. You can clean it over and over and over. And when your paint's wet, you can just scrape it off, take a little paint thinner and wash it down, use it again. Over and over. If your paint's dry, you can take a little sandpaper, sand off any bumps that you have, cover it with a little liquid white, and you're back in business again. It's easy. Canvas never goes bad. Just paint right over it. Okay, let's play some more with that mountain. Get a little bit more of the white. Let's come right in here, and maybe there's another little thing, and he lives right there. Wherever you want him. You can just put layer after layer. You can just keep going, like I say, till you cover up the whole canvas with mountains. And that's one of the best ways that I know of to practice. Don't be afraid to practice. If there's a secret to this or to any style of painting, it is practice. Just like tying your shoe. First time you tried it, it wasn't so easy. It wasn't so easy. Now you can just, you don't even have to look and you can do it. Of course, I told that to a lady in class one day and she looked down and she said, "How come you're still wearing loafers?" There we go. But I know you can do it better than I. Now, a little bit of that dark, just sort of play it here and there. See how it sets that right back in there and creates some deep shadows? Super. Now, back to our clean, dry brush. Just tap that. It creates all that mist. We got a tremendous big mountain here. Now maybe I'm just going to tap some of the same colors. And let's begin doing this. Just tapping downward. Just let this just sort of work right on out here. Very gentle. Maybe this just comes over and bends right there. There we go. So that all those little things just sort of happen. See, and you create another layer in your mountain. You can just keep going on and on and on. There's no limit to it. That's what makes it fun. We'll put a little highlight right in there. Now with a clean 1-inch brush, I'm going to grab this and make very short little strokes, tiny little strokes, 1/4 of an inch type strokes. And just lift that up. And it'll make it look like little trees that are growing right up the side of the mountain, far, far away. Too far to see any detail. There we go. Little tiny strokes. Can't say that enough. If you let those strokes get too big, you'll ruin the illusion. And over here, maybe there's some little things going like so. Okay, then we'll just fade that right out. See how soft and gentle? Isn't that easy? Well, we about covered up the whole canvas with mountains here, but that's all right. If you learn how to make one mountain, then you can make 1,000 mountains. And you can do it. You can do anything. All right. Let's just use this same old brush. I'm going to go right into some of this black and blue right here. Pick up a little of the white and just tap it in there. So we have same old colors, black, blue, and a little white. Okay, let's go right up here. Let's make a little footy hill. See? There he is, just using the corner of the brush, and he lives right there. Comes right on down. As each layer gets closer to you, let it get a little bit darker, a little bit darker. Clean, dry, 2-inch brush. Just tap the base. We want to have mist in here. Just a little bit of mist. There we go. Now then, use the same old dirty brush, same old color. Make it a little darker. Just tap it. I'll tell you what, we'll add tiniest little bit of Van Dyke brown. We want to start getting this a little closer. Okay, let's go back up here. And maybe there's another little foothill that we can see. Ooh, there he is. There he is. You knew he was there. There he comes. And he just goes right on up like that. See how you can just create layer after layer. Now we'll tap that one. This little bit of mist is the only thing that we have in here to separate all these. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's add a tiniest little bit of sap green to that same color. Because it's getting closer, now we're going to begin to see more color. Okay, let's go back here, and maybe we'll have a footy hill that comes right down here. Look at that. See, and I'm just using just the corner of this old 2-inch brush. Barely touching. Barely touching. Clean, dry 2-inch. Tap it. Give it a little upward pull. Well, we just got all kinds of things happening in there. Okay, let me wash this brush. so we'll have a clean one. I've got all my brushes dirty. We have to splatter the cameraman every once in a while to make sure he's awake. I'm going to go right into some Van Dyke brown, a little bit of dark sienna. Just mix them on the brush here. Let's have some fun. Let's go right in here, do this. Uh-oh. Now we just cover the whole canvas here. All we're looking for here is some good dark color, some good base color. Just like that. That gives us a nice color to work with. There. Okay. Now then, just take the same old brush, and I'm going to go right into my cad yellow, a little bit of yellow ochre, reach up here and grab some sap green, and I'm just going to tap this into the brush. Just tap it. Now these yellows are a little bit thinner than the other colors, so they stick a little easier. Now let's go right in here. See, just touch. Now if your color won't stick, add a little bit of the liquid clear, a little paint thinner to it. That'll thin it down so it'll stick. Or if you want your color to be brighter, add a little bit of the liquid white. There we go. Now maybe there's another little thing that lives right there. See there how you can just create layer after layer after layer. There we are. I tell you what, let's have some fun. Let me find my old fan brush here. Old fan brush. I'm going to take some black, some blue, and sap green. Tell you what, we'll just mix up a bunch of that because we're going to use it. Whew, that is a bunch, isn't it? Should look black. Just black, blue, sap green. There we go. I'll clean my knife off. Now, with a fan brush, just pull it right through there. A lot of paint on the brush. All right, let's go up here. Maybe there's some happy little evergreens that live. There he is. And all we're going to do is just tap. Let's go back and forth, like so. See there? There he is. There he is. Let's give him a little friend. You know me, I think everybody has to have a friend. Friends are so important. So important. There. That's one thing is so fantastic about painting for you on television. I've made thousands and thousands of beautiful, beautiful friends that I'd never had if I hadn't done this. And I thank you very much. It's what makes this so special. See there? Isn't that quick? We got 4 happy little trees. We'll take a little bit of the dark sienna, and I'm just going to put just an indication of a little trunk or two in here. There we go. See? Just tiniest little indication. Then with the brush that has the color on it, I'm going to go back in here and grab a little bit of that dark color. Just grab it with the corner of the brush and pull it down. See there? Makes a shadow. That easy. That easy. Now then, let's begin playing. I'm going to grab a little more of the sap green and the yellows. I got all the yellows going here. Indian yellow, yellow ochre, cad yellow, just whatever. Okay. Now maybe, yep, you're right. There's another little hill right there. So you can make as many of these as you want in your world, or as few. It's up to you. It's up to you. Get a little bit of the bright red. Just the tiniest little bit. There we go. Firecracker. It's going to be pretty. Make another little hill. Look at there. Okay, and if you wanted that to stand out a little brighter, you can add a little bit of yellow. See there? Drop it right on top. Just zings. All right. I'm going to get a 1-inch brush here. Let's pull that right through this dark color. Pull it through, wiggle it. Wiggle it. That brings it to a nice sharp point. Okay, let's go back up here. Maybe there's a happy little evergreen. Ooh, that's going to be a happy big evergreen. Take just the corner of the brush back and forth. Look at that. See? They live right there in that 1-inch brush. Just like you do in a fan brush. Or the 2-inch brush. There we go. Just let him come right on down. Oh, he just killed my little tree there. That's all right. We know he's back here. We know he's there. Killed my mountain up there too. Well, I'm just ruining everything that I did. But as long as you learn how to do it, that's what's so important. Just so you learn how to do it. Let's make that one a little bit taller. There we go. There, another happy little tree. And down in here we could care less, just anywhere, doesn't matter. You separate these with highlights. There's another one. And in your world, you decide how many trees you want. You want 10 trees? Maybe there's a whole forest there. Put them in. Every tree you do gives you that much more practice. And the more practice you have, the better your tree's going to get. Here I'm just adding some color. Just adding some color. Like that. Let's put a tree on the other side. We won't want that side over there to be left out and feel lonely. There he is, right there. All right. Big old tree. There. See? Just let him fall right out of there. There he goes. And once again, down in here, we could really care less what's happening. All we're looking for down here is just nice dark color. Maybe. Yep, you're right. We'll have another happy little tree. Lives right there. And we just let him work right on down. And there's a nice bushy tree that lives right there. I remember. Nice little tree. Shoot, that brush is too slow. Let's get a 2-inch brush here. And just drop in some little things. Okay. A little bit of the dark sienna. Give us an indication of a tree trunk here and there. Wherever. Maybe there's even one in this bush. Over here. Same. Don't want to leave him out. And you can just take the point of the knife and scrape all kinds of happy little things in here. There. Okay, we just take the brush that has the yellow on it and sap green, load it full. Okay, let's go right back up here. Now then, just pop in a few little highlights on these trees. Don't let it get too light. Keep it quite dark. Evergreens are usually a little darker than other trees. There we go. Isn't that fantastic? There. These little trees back here, they need a little touch too. There. This old tree, he don't want to be left out. A little bit in there. And that's enough to give us some indications. Alrighty. Tell you what, let's take some yellow, a little bit of sap green on the 1-inch brush, pull it in one direction. Let's put some happy little bushes right up in here. There they are. There they are. Look at all those little things. All kinds of little bushes. This is just yellow and green. These are the kind of paintings that really make you happy. I had a touch of paint thinner to my paint. There's so much paint here, you need a very thin paint to get it to stick to all of this. There. And put some shape and some form into your bush. Don't just throw this up there at random. Think about it. Think like a bush. There we go. I think in one of the previous series I told a story about when I was a kid, my uncle told me if I wanted to catch a rabbit, I should stand behind a tree and make a noise like a carrot, and when he came by, grab him. Needless to say, I didn't catch many rabbits. Okay, back with a 2-inch brush into the color. And let's come right along in here and just tap in all kinds of little happy, little grassy areas. This is where the little bunny rabbit would live. He'd hide right up in here. Yeah, that's where he'd live. And just sort of bounce back and forth with your color. Like so. Let's go on the other side. There it is. You just cut it off wherever you want it. Look at that. See how it pushes everything back though and creates layer after layer. And that's what makes your painting look deep and like it has a lot of distance. Well, we could have another rabbit over on this side. We could have rabbits everywhere in these woods. All right. Tell you what, catch that little rabbit that lives back here. We need a little path. I'm gonna go right into some Van Dyke brown, a little dark sienna, with the old fan brush. Just pull it through there, like so. Okay, maybe the little path lives in just back and forth strokes. See? And you just put the little path wherever you want it. Just like so. There he is. Look at that. Look at that. And that quick, you got a happy little path. Just sort of smooth him off. Like that. Now with the point of the knife, let's just go in here, put in a few little sticks. The old clock on the wall is telling me I got to go for this time. So I think we'll call this painting finished. We'll wrap it up for this week. From all of us here, happy painting and God bless.